Yeah, I was dancing along with the music. Hey, everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and you are watching Open. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Coming up on today's show, we'll sit down with the NAACP Bronx Branch president, who will share some of the community initiatives that the organization is focusing on this fall. And then we'll be joined by a bakery in Harlem known for fresh ingredients, flour cakes, all of the good stuff, and great gelato too. You like ice cream? I got it for you. It's going to tell us the whole story while helping you plan your next sweet treat. Plus, we'll speak to an environmental health and justice activist who will share her passion for community rebuilding and environmental protection, and so much more. We'll talk about it right here. And finally, we'll hear from an investigative reporter who has some important information on correcting and protecting your credit report this fall. So stay tuned, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and we're wide open. Here we go. There you go. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, the Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is the president of the NAACP Bronx Branch, and he joins us to speak about the community initiatives that the organization is focusing on and highlight their Leadership and Empowerment Award ceremony. It's coming your way, and we'll tell you all about it right here. Welcome to the show, Mr. Cleveland E. Beckett Jr. Welcome, 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 welcome. Always good to see you, too.
Yes,
how are you?
yes, it's been a while.
Yeah, I know last time, let me see, I can't even place it anymore.
I think the last time was either at a civic event or when I worked at Lehman College, but it's been some years. Yeah. That was pre-COVID, so
yeah,
it's been some time.
Well, it's always good to see you. Welcome to the show, and for our viewers, share a little bit about yourself, your background.
Sure. So I'm Cleveland E. Beckett Jr. I'm the current president of the NAACP Bronx Branch. Became the president in January of 2023. My background is rich in terms of public policy. So I've worked for elected officials. I've been a lobbyist. I run my own strategic communications firm. And I'm here today to talk about the types of activities that the NAACP Bronx Branch has kind of been engaged in. And so first I want to say thank you to you, Dr. Bob Lee, and the BronxNet. You know, I'm an aficionado of public broadcasting and community news. I believe in getting the news from the right sources,
there you go,
with the right intent, and who cultivate people to be engaged in like the life and affairs of their city and their neighborhood. So I want to first thank you for saying that.
Yeah. I mean, it's serious, too, what you just said. You have to know where you're getting that information from because you're going to tell it. And that's what it's designed to do. If you see a headline pop up on your phone, you're going to call it for, hey, did you know that such a... But you didn't read the whole thing, and you don't know whose name is on the bottom of that thing. Who wrote that?
Right. And that's called civic engagement, right?
Yeah.
And so the NAACP founded, it's 1909, has a track record. If you don't know the history, all you need to know is that the NAACP is the oldest civil rights organization in America.
Yeah.
And so many of the privileges that we have now, access to education, employment, voting, that's because of the NAACP.
Right.
So we have thousands of branches across the globe. The Bronx Branch was formed in 1947. So we're getting ready to embark on our 80th year. And so coming out of COVID, as I said, I became the president after we were kind of trying to come out of COVID. It was important for us to make sure that, one, we made sure that we followed the traditional programs, you know, take your souls to the polls, issues to the polls, which meant that we go in our local communities, right? And we make sure that residents, voters are aware of the issues and why these issues specifically speak to them. Because if you're speaking and no one hears you, or they don't feel oneness with the issue, then they're not engaged.
Out of there, yeah.
Right? And so some of our major activities were very focused on healthcare. So we had a symposium talking about the Healthcare Bill of Rights, that many consumers of healthcare aren't familiar with that. So we had to thank our partner, Lincoln Hospital. That was early last year.
Before you go on, but continue that, but I just want to break in right here. How important is healthcare, especially this day and age where a lot of that stuff is going to be...
And I'm glad you asked that, because at least under my current tenure, we're focused on healthcare, education, economic development, which means apprenticeships, jobs, and voting rights. So we want to make sure we cover all these different sectors. So as a part of that, as you know, a few years ago, we had the March on Washington for jobs and employment, jobs and education. We started our W.E.B. Du Bois Leadership and Empowerment Breakfast. And it was an opportunity to recognize individuals, but it was an opportunity, one, to go into the communities, re-engage with the community after COVID, and also to build allies in organized labor, in organizations like the Memorial Foundation in Washington, D.C., to help us build this message. So what do? In addition to all the things that we normally did, we targeted over 20,000 voters in Bronx County, some who were infrequent voters and some who were the traditional diehard voters. And we talked about messages that were important. Healthcare is one of those issues. So we're going to be looking to hopefully partner in the coming months with other health organizations to talk about employment opportunities, but also to understand what does that big, bad, ugly bill really mean. And right now,
you're breaking it down.
People are concerned, especially when you consider that we don't know when some of those cuts are going to occur. Some of them are going to be immediate. So if you had healthcare coverage in one particular area, the reimbursement rate may not be the same to the hospital. Who's to say that you will still be covered for actions that were once previously covered? And elected officials and the public respond when you're engaged. And so election day is important. We've now entered early voting. That started on Saturday, goes till November 2nd, and election day is November 4th. It's important to elect people to office. It's important even more so to have people be accountable while in their office.
Wait a minute, election day is tomorrow.
Yeah, we started already. You're right. Election day is tomorrow.
Right.
Because early voting will end on November the 2nd, and then election day will be Tuesday, November the 4th. So we urge everyone to go out and vote appropriately at the polls and to build their plan for how they're going to be voting on that day.
And you mentioned Lincoln Hospital. We do a lot with Lincoln Hospital. How are you guys working together?
So that's an excellent point. So we hold our monthly membership meetings at Lincoln Hospital, right? So we appreciate their stewardship there, obviously.
I love what they're doing in our community.
Definitely. And we've been fortunate to build partners across the boroughs. So, for example, Albert Einstein College of Medicine.
I love what they're doing.
For Einstein, they were one of our sponsors last year for our Empowerment Awards breakfast. And so we're building a range of activities. We've worked with organized labor, District Council number 9 of the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades, with some of the laborers. And I mentioned earlier about the Memorial Foundation in Washington, D.C. They've supported us every single year. And we're doing this because we want to advance in other partnership areas. So healthcare will be one of them. Economic development, we've already started a collaboration with Fordham University. As you know, they have their Green Job Center, which was recently announced. That's going to be open, I believe, in the next fall. And I'm pleased to serve as on one of their enrollment working groups.
And you have the Leadership and Empowerment ceremony coming up, right?
Well, we recently concluded that.
You did?
But we're going to be planning for next year.
The next one.
So that one was held in August, the last Saturday in August. And we had some dynamic honorees, some of whom I'm sure you probably know. One is a fantastic gentleman, Michael J. Garner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Michael J. Garner, currently director of the Minority Women-Owned Business Enterprises with the Mayor's Office.
We're going to be doing the voice work on it. There he is right there.
Okay.
Big
So
shout out to Michael Garner.
phenomenal human being. So we gave him our W.E.B. Du Bois Civic Leadership Award.
All right.
And you couldn't think of a finer person to have that. And then because I mentioned the partnership with labor, we honored Miss Gloria J. Middleton,
Yes.
who's the president of the Communications Workers of America, Local 1180.
Yes.
She also was phenomenal. She, for many years, in addition to being a branch president,
I love her. She's
first
great.
female female labor union president. She served for many years as the chair of the Civil Rights Committee for the CWA nationwide. And this is a phenomenal partner. They too were one of our sponsors.
Yes.
And then last but not least is the Reverend Dr. Malcolm J. Berg.
Oh, okay.
Who's the pastor of Mother AME Zion Church in Harlem.
There he is right
He's
there.
also the chief operating officer for the National Action Network.
Right.
But has an NAACP background. He was a branch president in his local college campus at Livingstone. So these partnerships are important because if you're going to have connectivity to the community, you have to honor and recognize people from the community, but you also have to have the resources so that when you go into the community, you can put on forums, you can engage in resource activities.
And then you have something coming up in the community. You got the community partners and allies.
Right.
How they support the NAACP, the Bronx Branch.
So
and its initiatives.
A couple of different things. Number one, we're going to be including the community in our mobilization efforts. Every year, we as a state, with all the branches, we travel to Albany, and we talk about critical issues, whether it's criminal justice, healthcare, economic development, education, what have you. And so there are many people who are engaged in the work on the ground. Sometimes they might not have all the technical knowledge of how do I engage with my elected official to make it effective? How do I galvanize people in the community who are interested in the topic but might not know or see themselves as plugging in? How do we do that? Well, that's something that the NAACP has a track record of doing. And so we want to make sure that we engage them as well where appropriate, right? To make sure that people in our communities are that much more well-informed and, quite frankly, that we act.
Yeah.
Because if we're well informed, but we don't lead to some action at some point, then we might not be able to implement the change that we want to see.
Yeah, I like when you mentioned earlier that NAACP is responsible for a lot of the people coming up in the past, a lot of activists, shoulders we stood on.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people are displayed in my book, People to Know in Black History and Beyond. Not to promote my book, but just to line it up with what you were saying earlier. So, and I got to let you know that the president of the New York State branch, Hazel Dukes, is the one who got me in, and she, I'm a lifetime member of the NAACP, but she put me into the Mid-Manhattan branch.
Excellent. Well, that's good. We have friends. It's funny you mentioned that Mrs. Dukes. I had the opportunity to actually work for her a couple of times at the state conference level dealing with civic engagement. And when I worked, I used to be the prison project coordinator at one point for the NAACP in the Northeast, when Mr. Kwesi Mfume was the president. And I got that job at the training of Mrs. Hazel Dukes. Yeah. And she was a magnificent woman and very powerful.
You had your boots on the ground for a long time,
Very
man.
powerful.
Thank you for all that you do and continue to do for our community and through the NAACP.
Well, thank you. But
Appreciate
again, I really want to acknowledge and appreciate you because you've been out here for a very long time, highlighting people of all different areas, communities, vocations, about the things that they're trying to do in their communities. And quite frankly, if we don't have good stakeholders and good hosts who are willing to also enable us to, come on a show and amplify a message, whether we're on a show or not, then quite frankly, it's like a tree in the forest that falls. Did anyone hear it?
I know. Brother Cleveland E. Beckett Jr. Cleveland E. Beckett Jr., President NAACP Bronx Branch.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on. And you're always welcome to come on and participate in what we're doing so we can share it. People moving together in the same direction for a common cause. That's what it's all about. All right, we'll take a quick break right here. I've got more open coming your way next.
We're going to start the show right now. This is my favorite part. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, this is Angel, and I am one of the instructors for the in-studio production. Here at BronxNet, we offer classes that can help you elevate, expand, and start your television career. All you have to do is sign up at bronxnet.org/education. For the past 7 years, I have been in various productions, spanning from talk shows, independent films, news reports, art displays, teachings, musical performances, and many more. Ain't that right, Angel? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Angel. There are a lot of creative individuals that we're just waiting to sign up for the class. And if I may, can I also express that? Thank you, Angel. That's all the time we have left. Visit bronxnet.org/education and become a producer by taking the course. The class I offer is also in English, en español y también bilingüe. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.
And welcome back. Our next guest is the owner of a family-run specialty bakery in Hamilton Heights. And he joins us to help satisfy our sweet tooth and emphasize their mission of uplifting the community they serve every day. Please welcome to the show, Esad Eddie Lekic. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Dr. Bob Lee. I must say good morning, Bronx. Good morning, New York City. It's an honor to be here today and share our story with you.
Now, tell us about your business, and then you have a partner with you. I mean, the young lady's in back of you. Is that your wife?
That is my wife. She is the Avril, and the shop is Avrilililly's. Her father used to call her Avrilililly when she was a little kid. That is her nickname, and that's the name of our shop.
Avrilililly.
Avrilililly's.
Avrilililly. Avrilililly. I like the way you say that, too. You got it.
Thank you.
This is you guys when you got married?
Practicing.
Yeah.
Yes, that is us. That was 2004.
All right. So what's on the menu? I mean, I have a sweet tooth. I like to indulge from time to time, especially when I'm driving from one spot to the next.
So we are actually a small batch gelato shop. We make gelato fresh and daily, and sometimes we even change flavors daily.
Depends gelato on the weather. Ice cream. Yeah, all right.
Correct. Depends on the weather, depends on my mood, depends when I go to the local fruit stands and the supermarket. I go and buy the stuff, and we go from there, and we make our own flavors every day. Right now, we usually have 8 flavors on the pick, and 2 are always dairy-free and vegan. So we have some other options for dairy-free people as well. We do make custom cakes with the flower designs. Our team is sugar flowers. Everything is edible, and they are absolutely amazing. So everything is made from scratch. We make our own cookies. We have chocolate chip cookie, white chocolate chip cookies, sugar cookies. We do cupcakes. We have flan, bread pudding, tiramisu, banana pudding. Oh, the flan, I'm glad you asked about the flan. The flan I used to make for my in-laws for years. Every Christmas I would make flan. And then one day I worked in the restaurant, so I came really late, and this was right before the Christmas, and I end up making the flan, and I burned the caramel while I was waiting, and almost burned the house. And after that, I was forbidden of making coconut flan for almost 10 years.
Wow.
And now since we opened the shop, we have the coconut flan back in.
Yeah.
And
well, you got to make it. And he said, whenever something traumatizing happens, you have to tackle that fear. So you came back 10 years later. You said, "Hey,
now we got it.
Let's take care of this."
Yes.
So how is that making it from scratch? And you guys have a whole lot of fun doing it. I see your wife in the background dancing while she's putting everything together.
100%. So also the whole thing started, we always wanted to open the restaurant. There was always a goal. And at the end, we end up going with a gelato shop and bakery. I love mixing stuff. I work in restaurants all my life. I was a bartender for a while, so I like mixing things. I really love baking, and we were really thinking the idea kind of happened during the pandemic. With the COVID, we were both stuck in the house. I didn't want to go back to the same old. She didn't want to go back to the same old. So we were really thinking, what is missing in the community?
I keep laughing because she's dancing throughout the whole thing. It seems like you guys are having a whole lot of fun preparing 100%. It, making it, and serving it, and selling it.
Exactly. It's a lot of fun coming with the new flavors all the time, experimenting, doing things from scratch. Yeah. And we're definitely happy to be in the neighborhood in Hamilton Heights. We were accepted really well. We are literally right in front of the City College. So we have good amount of different kind of crowd coming in, from young couples, young kids, students, grandparents coming with their grandkids. It's a really great environment to be.
So Hamilton Heights, that's right next to the Armory? Is that next to the Armory?
Hamilton Heights, it's in West Harlem. We are right below Washington Heights, right above Morningside on 139 in Amsterdam, right in front of the City College, as I mentioned.
I know exactly where you are.
So I'm going to be expecting you, Mr. Bob.
Don't worry, you'll see me. I love gelato.
I don't know if you love carrot cake, tiramisu. We have a lot of stuff.
I love carrot cake, too. Wow. The whole place lit up when you said that. So we're all going to march on over there. So stand by. So you've been in business for how long now?
We opened 2021, literally towards the end of the pandemic. As I mentioned, during the pandemic, I didn't want to go back to the same old. Avril was working in a corporate all her life. And at the end, during the pandemic, we were really it was like a catalyst for us and to create something new, something that was missing in the neighborhood. There are a lot of restaurants, there are a lot of bars. This is actually for everyone. And we do work a lot with the community, with Brotherhood, Sisterhood, with Harlem Stage, Art, Child Carnival. We do have, we are really open and helping the community as well.
Yeah, that's great. And your mission statement places emphasis on customer happiness. And you can see how you guys jump around and prepare everything. Talk about that.
I wish if you were here, and you will be here one day to see, just to see expression on the people's faces when they try these different gelato flavors. It's absolutely amazing. Like their eyes lit up, they moan, they make noises. It's really, really amazing. It's so satisfying to see people when they try different flavors, how happy they are. It's amazing.
How is it engaging with your community? Because remember, you came through COVID and everything. You didn't come out. Now you have a place in Hamilton Heights. How did you interact? How do you continue to interact with the community there now?
We are here every day. The neighbors, they do come, they do help us out, they do show us love and support. We are always here to help as much as we can, and wherever we need it, we try to do our best, and we try to work together with the community as much as we can.
Does the whole family get involved?
Yes, actually. We have 3 kids. 2 of them do work here. We have Emina, she's 18. She works. Damir, he's 16. He does work too as well. The little one is still too little. Another couple of years, and he'll be working as well. At some point, I have 2 kids working at the same time, but being teenagers, there was a lot of headaches, so I have to kind of split them up. So I have them alternating days. One works Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The other works other days.
What does Avrilililly mean? And how did you come up with the name Avrililly's Creamery?
Avril is my wife, the lady behind me on the wall. I wish she was here today. Unfortunately, she was unable to be here with us. But God willing, one day she will be, so you can see her all. She's
making gelato.
She's a better storyteller than I am, 100%. Her name is Avril. Her father called her Avrililly. That is her nickname. So we end up going.
So it's April.
It's French for April, Avril, Lilies, Avrililly, like a little Avril.
Right. Beautiful.
And the mural behind me that you can see on the wall, that was her last day working for corporate before she decided to say that she wants to start her own business and put her foot down into the entrepreneurship and start her own thing.
Well, talk about the freedom that comes along with having your own business. You both came out of the corporate world and said, hey, you know what? Let's roll up our sleeves and do our own business, become entrepreneurs.
It's definitely satisfying. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of sacrifice, 100%, but definitely it's very rewarding. After doing this, it's kind of hard to go and work for someone else. Definitely gives you a lot of freedom, a lot of choices, a lot of options, and there is definitely a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice that comes with it. But at the end, if you are doing what you love, you will get rewarded at the end. So have to be a little patient.
Are you being rewarded the way you want to right now?
100%, 100%. Just seeing the people walk out happy, and then they come back again. They come to try. Everybody now comes back for their own kind of favorites. Some people love banana pudding. They always come back for banana pudding. They don't want to try anything else. Some people come only for cookies. Some people come for gelato. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a dinner. But wait a minute. Where do you want to go from here? Because you see, you got a lot going on right there. The menu's stacked.
The goal is to stay here for now in the neighborhood, and if we do expand, it will be also expanding like in the neighborhood. So we would like to stay, to help also the communities and also where the stuff is missing. For example, we used to always go when we wanted to have a gelato or ice cream. We used to go to the Upper West Side, like 70s and 80s. There was nothing like this in our neighborhood. So one of the reasons was like, why do we have to go like downtown to have an ice cream? Why we don't have that here in our neighborhood? So if we open up another place and if we expand, it'll be in the location who are not exposed to it. So something to offer to everyone as well.
Yeah. All right, Eddie, anything on social media or on the website?
We are on Instagram. You can follow us. Avrililly is on it. We try to post as much as we can, new flavors, all the good stuff that we do with the community. It's all there. So please come and join us and give us a try.
All right. Avrililly, say it. You say it. It'll roll your tongue for a little while.
A little practice. I did practice a lot too. Avrililly's Creamery.
There you go. Avrililly's
Please come and join
Creamery.
us. Yes.
Thank you
so much.
Esad Eddie Lekic. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. I've got more. All coming your way next on Open.
19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
We are the Eco Leaders. We learned that everything starts with ourselves. Then we have to educate ourselves. Then we have to build community and use our imagination.
Eco Leaders, step from the future to save the past. Heal the planet and make it last. We find solutions with knowledge slides. Venture forth, Eco Leaders, you're Eco
And welcome back. Our next guest is a force multiplier and change, and known as the Climate DisruptHER. We should put an echo on that piece right there. DisruptHER. And she's here. She's the founder and executive director of Girl Plus Environment. And she joins us to shine a light on how she's using her nonprofit organization to dismantle health, racial, and economic or environmental inequities in communities of color and much more. So please welcome to the show, Diamond Spratling. She is a polished diamond. Check her out. Diamond, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited about the segment.
Yeah. What's better, a polished diamond or a diamond in the rough?
Polished, of course.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. To start, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how, you got your experience growing up and getting into what you're into right about now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a global climate disruptor, and you're probably wondering, what does that even mean? Well, essentially, I get people to care about climate, especially climate justice. And so I'm the founder of a national nonprofit called Girl Plus Environments. And essentially, I help to get more Black and brown women engaged in climate justice and climate action that's happening right there in their communities. So I founded that organization almost 7 years ago now at this point. I'm also a global public speaker. I talk about climate justice and how people can take action all over the world. And I'm also a children's book author of a series called Sage Sells the World, which gets young ones engaged in climate action very early on. And I think a lot of just like my work and my interests around just building my leadership skills and being able to be in this work kind of came from my parents. They're both small business owners. They're both leaders in their communities. And so I grew up seeing the incredible work that they were doing. And it kind of inspired me, especially my mom. She was someone who always said anything that I wanted to do, I could put my mind to it and I could do it. And
That's right, Mom. Go, Mom.
So yeah, shout out to the moms.
That's great. Climate justice. What made you want to climb into climate justice?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I actually was watching TV and I saw a Save the Polar Bears commercial.
Oh,
And, they're like, oh, donate $19.99 a month to save the polar bears, adopted polar bears. Obviously, I was a kid. I didn't have money to pay for a polar bear, but
you
it
went to
grew my
Mom.
interest. Yeah, I did go to Mom. She was like, mm-mm. But it did spark my interest. I'm like, why are the ice sheets melting? What's happening? Why are we not protecting our planet or our environments? And so that, I think, initially kind of sparked my interest. But once I got even more into the work, I learned that environmental justice and climate justice was impacting my own community, not just the polar bears. Access to clean water, air pollution, all of those things kind of really triggered me, especially being a kid growing up on the west side of Detroit. There was the Chrysler plant, Ford, the automotive industry, all of those things that I had grandparents working there, uncles working there, my dad worked on a plant, and those were impacting their health so much. And so it kind of grew an even personal relationship to, what started as a random interest in saving polar bears. I was able to make that connection to my own life and my own family as well. So it kind of grew from there.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that we're doing right now to help our environment and help out with the climate?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So within Girl Plus Environment, so like I mentioned, we have over 700 members now in 35 different states all across the country. And so my entire basis for creating that organization was to make sure that Black and brown women know that there is space for us in this movement. We've been the backbone of every single other movement, civil rights movement, human rights, all of the things. Climate justice, environmental justice is no different. And so we've been doing tons of work around making sure that women of color know how to talk to their representative about issues that are happening in their community. Their water is not clean. Kids don't have access to green spaces. Our indoor air pollution is impacting fibroids and maternal health for Black women. And so we do a lot of advocacy and making sure that other people who look like me can also take those actions too. So they talk to their representatives, they submit public comment, they show up to hearings. We just had an entire event last week actually called Brunch to the Polls, where we had a very cultural brunch, a very fun brunch. And after that, we bussed people to go vote for their public service commissioner because that impacts our energy bills, So really anything that impacts our community, we're advocating for it.
I heard you mention that indoor air pollution affects fibroids. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Absolutely. So, if you didn't know, many, especially Black women, we suffer from fibroids. And a lot of times, those fibroids, they increase and they enlarge, especially when we are pregnant and maternal. And so, for example, a lot of the indoor air pollutions, the different toxins that are even in our ingredients, in our beauty products, our personal products that we use every single day, those things increase your risk of having fibroids. Even thinking about the air that we're consuming from gas stoves, those are different things that impact our health, especially Black women. And as I'm sure many people know, we have significant maternal mortality rates within the
Yeah.
Black community.
And a fibroid is like a growth within.
Yes, absolutely. It grows in your stomach. It can impact not only the mother, but also the child as well. The child could suffer from an enlarged fibroid.
Yeah. What can you tell us about your nonprofit organization? Tell us a little bit more
Yeah,
of how you're digging deep and
yeah,
how you put it all
absolutely.
together.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I started it almost 7 years ago during my first year of grad school. Crazy time to start a nonprofit, but we're
Yeah.
still here. And it essentially came out of not seeing enough people who looked like me in this work and in this space. Very early on, when I first had this passion for climate and environmental issues, I tried to get my friends and family involved, and they're like, "What are you talking about? I don't have time to care about climate. I'm trying to put food on the table." But what they didn't understand is that the food on our tables and on our plates has everything to do with
Yeah.
climate,
Yes.
being able to have access to clean drinking water, being able to go to school and go to work every single day and walk in a clean, healthy environment that has trees. And so I decided that I wanted to start a space, a safe, culturally driven space where Black and brown women
Mm.
can convene on issues that impact us the most, because it is clear and evidence shows that when people who are most impacted by climate environmental issues are leading the work, the solutions are equitable. They're representative of the needs
Yeah.
of our community. So we do a lot of education around just really debunking the myths around what it means and looks like to be a climate activist, and creating safe spaces for us to take
Yeah.
action, submitting petitions, doing rallies, showing up together and talking to our representatives about these issues.
Boots on the ground.
Oh yeah,
Where my
always.
fans at?
Love it.
So, when you were doing grad school, what were you studying then?
Yeah, I was studying public health
Uh-huh.
because I kind of had that pivot. So in undergrad, I studied environmental policy, and I said, well, this is great, but I've got to learn about how these issues were impacting the health and well-being of my people in my community. And so
Mm.
that's when I kind of made that pivot from the more, say, the polar bears and conservation into
Yeah.
this is a human rights issue. And
Uh,
so going to grad school for public health kind of helped me to make that pivot.
and you came up with the name Climate DisruptHER.
Yes, I did. I'm a climate disruptor, HER at the end, because I'm also a feminist.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it just means that I get people to care about climate. I get people to see themselves in a space in work that we've been told for so long that we don't belong in. We've been told that our ancestors don't do this work, which we know is not true, because my grandmother told me to always turn the lights off. She told me that we're going to wrap things up in plastic and, all the things. So we've been doing this for centuries, for
Uh-huh.
decades.
You,
So,
you know
yeah.
now to turn those lights
Oh,
off.
yeah. Oh, for sure, especially when I'm paying the bills.
That's right, exactly. That's what they were talking about.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So, you're an author, I hear.
Yes, I am.
The
I'm
book, let me see, Sage Sells the World. How did you come up with that name?
Yes. Yeah, I did. So essentially, it's about a little girl who travels to all different places around the world. And they're to places that her grandmother told her about, because her grandmother used to travel to those places when she was young.
Uh-huh.
But when the little girl Sage goes there, they don't look the same. The deserts, the water's all dried up, the ice sheets are melting, all of the things because of climate change. And it's kind of sad, because it's like, what happened to the planet? But instead of being hopeless and feeling sad, Sage gathers all of her friends and she takes action. She feels empowered and she is able to restore the planet with everyone else in her community. And so it's very inspiring, especially for me, because I feel like, it kind of was my story. When I first saw the Save the Polar Bears commercial, I felt defeated because I didn't have the 1999 as a kid.
Uh-huh.
But I did take that. I took what I learned and I applied it to start an entire organization and to essentially get my friends and family to care about the work.
Yeah.
So it feels very full circle.
Be strong. Yeah.
Yes. We need
So
more.
was Sage a real person or just a made up name?
No. Sage it was just a made up name.
I
I
get
just
it.
really love the name
Yeah.
Sage.
So what do you tell people who say, climate change, there's no science behind that. This is not real. We're going to go dig and do what we need to do to get the minerals and stuff out of the earth that we need. And we're going to pollute. We're going to just make it all happen.
Yeah.
What do you tell those people?
There are a lot of people out there like that, unfortunately. And what I say is that climate change is already here. It's not something that's in the future. It's not something that we're not going to see until our kids' kids are here. And even then, don't you care about the future generations? Don't you care about the Gen Alphas, the Gen Zs, the kids who are going to be here on this planet? We've already seen detrimental impacts. We just celebrated the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. That was significant. Those had significant environmental justice and climate implications. We're seeing it every single day.
Yeah.
Here in Georgia, it's so hot here, people can't even go outside. We haven't even seen New York winters like they've been historically. All of these different things. It has everything to do with our health and our well-being.
Health, and that's what I was going to say. People just think, all right, we're going to get some hurricanes, but health-wise,
it's
the
health.
pollution and everything that's in our air and in the ground and our foods.
Exactly. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I actually used to teach a class to medical professionals on how do they talk to their patients about how climate change might be impacting their health, because a lot of people sometimes don't see that.
Well, Diamond, you have to come back and we have to kick it some more. All right? We have to do some more. But give us your website. And a lot of the stuff is on your website and social media pages and all.
Absolutely. Yeah. Feel free to go onto our website, girlplusenvironment.org. You can learn more about my book on my website, diamondspratling.com.
Diamond Spratling, MPH, Climate DisruptHER, founder and executive director, Girl Plus Environment. She's got that whole thing there for you. And we'll put the information up on the page where you can follow her and go onto our website. We'll take a quick break right here. I've got more. It's all coming your way next, right here on Open.
What's up, creative family? Discover your voice with BronxNet Community Media classes. Are you ready to bring your ideas to life? At BronxNet, we offer television production classes for community members ages 18 and over, empowering you to share your vision with the world. Get certified in field production, in-studio production, and our new exciting addition, podcast production. Once certified, you can create your own show to air on one of our 6 TV channels. It all starts with our free Unleash Your Ideas Masterclass, designed to help you plan your show idea and set you up for success on your production journey. This class is offered at the beginning of each month for your convenience. Our dedicated BronxNet team is here to support, encourage, and uplift you every step of the way. Join us and become a part of the creative force that engages and inspires the Bronx community and beyond. Sign up today and start your media journey with BronxNet. Visit bronxnet.org/education to learn more and register. Let's create something amazing together.
And welcome back. Our last guest is a Consumer Reports investigative reporter. We need more of them. And she joins us to share some insight on what has led to a stunning rise in credit report errors and complaints across credit bureaus, and speak about how we can correct those issues. So please welcome to the show, Lisa Gill. Lisa, welcome.
Dr. Bob, thanks so much for having me on today.
Oh, wow. We were talking earlier about how important it was for investigative reporters to be out there and to uncover a lot of the stuff that people really, really don't see. So thank you. Thank you for all the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Lisa, you noted in your report that the number of complaints about credit report errors more than doubled in recent years, from 165 to 129 in 2021. I don't know if I have all the numbers correct, but tell us how that increase happened and why is it happening?
Oh my gosh. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is a federal agency that's been under a lot of attack lately, has always collected consumer complaints. and we're going to talk about when you want to file a complaint, but just to talk about those numbers, they've always collected complaints. And in the last few years, they've seen the number of people complaining about an error on their credit reports skyrocket, like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And not only that, they take complaints for all kinds of financial things. So loans, credit cards, identity theft, but errors on credit reports really is the number one problem that most people complain about. And the fact that they have skyrocketed got our attention. You can go in and like look in the database. We pulled the numbers, did a lot of analysis on like what's going on here. And one of the things that we learned is that there are 3 credit bureaus, and this is really important. And the names sound so boring, but in this world, they matter. And it's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And people were complaining about all 3, saying, hey, I found errors on my credit reports that are not getting, I tried to dispute them, but they're not getting resolved.
Yeah.
And the reason we learned is that these 3 companies, they're all individual companies. They do not communicate with each other, but when they receive a dispute from a consumer, they're using like a type of AI technology to quickly scan and then make a determination as to whether or not the dispute is valid. And so it was basically being automated instead of like a human sitting there looking at your bank statement, looking at, did you make that payment? Like it didn't make any sense. And so it's basically automation has led to just like literally hundreds of thousands of errors not getting resolved. And the reason this matters, which might be your next question, you think about credit scores and you're just like, oh my God, it's so boring. And credit reports.
That was my next question.
Credit reports, it sounds like it really like, who cares about that until you you go get a loan, right?
Yeah.
And you typically think, like when I started reporting about this, I thought, oh, credit scores are used for like if I want a car loan or I want to open a credit card or maybe I want to get a mortgage or something. But it turns out that credit scores are used in almost every kind of financial decision made about you. And that includes signing up for a cell phone, just getting a cell phone contract, trying to get a lease, like you're getting a lease on an apartment, they're going to check your score. And check this out, even if you are applying for a job, an employer can check your credit score to see if it falls in the good category, the poor category, and make a determination whether or not they want to hire you. So consumer
you don't have to
reports,
pay back your employer.
right, but consumer reports got very concerned about this, realizing like that your credit score is really the foundation of every financial decision. So we started to look at like, oh, well, what's going on here, and try to connect those dots.
So if there's 3 of them, which one do you go with? How do you know, all right, which one should I go with? Who's going to give me the best credit report?
Right. So what happens is all 3 companies report out your information. And the way that we tell consumers, this is the most important part. If you don't listen to anything else I've said, that's totally okay. Go check your own credit report for free at annualcreditreport.com, which I know it sounds like a joke, but that really is. You go there for free. You can check your reports with all 3 credit bureaus every week, really like indefinitely. And here's what you're looking for. Pull up that report, and you're looking to make sure that you recognize the loans, you recognize all the credit cards, that your personal information is correct. It's like your name is spelled correctly, your social security number is spelled correctly, or it's the right numbers, you got the right address. You want to make sure that, oh, that credit card that I closed like 2 years ago, they're not reporting that it's still open. You want to make sure that anything and I'll tell you, the other thing you're looking for is any debt that's getting reported in your name that's not actually yours, which turns out to be a very common problem. So debt collectors, they buy all sorts of like debt that's not been collected. They start making phone calls and doing whatever or not, and it can get reported that it's your debt. And so the reason that that's so important is all of these things can really impact the score by like 10, 20, 30 points, sometimes 50 points or higher. So that's why it matters.
Now, what if you got people calling you saying, hey, you have to take care of this debt, and you don't remember? I don't remember spending anything on that, or this is not mine.
I love this question. Yeah,
but they send it to me every other week or whatever.
If you actually get a real, most of these calls these days are automated, but if you actually get a real person on the phone who's calling you saying, hey, you owe an AT&T bill from like 2018, you tell them, I'd like you to verify the debt and send me everything you have excuse me, including the bill, the so-called unpaid bill, and get them to send it by paper to your address. And at first, you might want to be, you're probably thinking like, oh, I don't want to engage these people. But you know what? If you ask for that, it's called validate the debt. They have to do it in 5 days, and they've got to send all that information to you. And if they don't, it's invalid debt.
Yeah.
And by the way, don't pay anything. If you ever get one of these calls and they're like, oh, you owe us, an energy bill from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it's immediate. You have to pay it. Don't do that. Just ask them to validate the debt and wait until things come in the mail.
Yeah, and they probably won't even come. Some of them hang up on you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Most places don't want to mess around with you because then they know that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So what if somebody wants to make their credit a little bit better? The report is not looking too cool,
Yes.
Let me increase my credit scoring here.
Yeah, I haven't. So you should go check yours. You know what? Everybody should check. So what's going to happen at annualcreditreports.com, which is, like I said, free place to check your report. You're not going to get a score there.
Everybody just took out a pen. They just, all right, what is that? Or they got good. Go look. Everybody here, I promise you will be shocked. You'll be like, wait, there's something on here that's not mine, or something's getting reported double. Your bank, the place to get an actual score, it's called a FICO. It's FICO. FICO. It's like an acronym. Doesn't matter what it stands for. Go get that score. You're looking for like a FICO 8 score. I know this is ridiculous and technical, but it's super important. Call the bank or your credit card company and ask, like, do you guys give free scores? I'm just looking for my basic FICO score. That would just gives you a sense of like where you fall. That the high number is 850. Yeah.
Most people don't reach that. They're like in the 700s. That's pretty good. That's like about A-, B+.
Yeah.
Totally normal.
You get a good rate on a car or a house.
Right, yes. And and actually the reason to do this is a couple things. To do it now is before you're trying to apply for a mortgage or a car or a student loan, because it's at that point that most people find out, oh my gosh, this score is so much lower than what I thought it was going to be. And then it takes, just for real, it takes like months to get it fixed. If there is like an actual error in that report, like, you're basically writing, and here's what happens. If you do find an error at annualcreditreports.com, check all 3 bureaus, because technically they're supposed to have the same information, but they don't always. And you decide you're going to file a dispute because you're like, this debt at TransUnion is not my debt.
Yeah.
You need to, I know this sounds super old school, but you need to write a letter.
That's okay.
And print it out.
Put it out there.
To get all the materials that you need to show that it is a mistake. Make copies for yourself, put it all together into an envelope, and send it certified mail. And I know you can go to the websites, you can do it online, but don't do that.
Yeah. And
there's a reason. It's if you can't get this dispute resolved, and you have to take the most extreme action of suing these companies, which unfortunately happens all the time. It's a federal court case. It's a kind of a big deal. You're going to need written proof that they've followed the law. And they don't always follow the law. And if they don't follow the law, you automatically win. They're going to pay for your legal expenses. So get everything in writing and follow up.
And I heard you mention AI earlier. Sometimes, the people that you're talking to, that's an AI person or they make a decision through AI. So can't you use the chat to write your letter? Can't you use it with the chat?
The way around it is the old-fashioned paper and the mail. But you know what? When it's your financial
we still use them.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
That's right. So I don't know. I'm just curious, Lisa. How did you get involved in it? Did something happen to you? You said, "Hey, you know what? My credit is not correct. This is not me. I didn't put all this stuff out here. My credit report should be a lot better than it is now."
Hey, this leads to a really good tip, by the way. So yes, I went to go get a mortgage right around COVID. And I thought, oh man, my credit's going to be great. I only have one credit card. I keep a small balance on it. I pay it off all the time. And I went to go I filed for a mortgage, and I got a very gentle call from the lender. It was like, your credit is not very good. We'll give you a loan, but it's going to be very expensive. And I was like, wait a second, it's supposed to be fantastic. I dug a little deeper.
And when you say expensive, that means the credit rating would be high. The interest rate would be very high.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a second, no way, mortgages are really cheap.
It'd be like loan sharking, like 29%.
Yes, it's very predatory. So this is what happens. This is another reason why you want your credit to be, your credit score to be really good, so you get the good offers. So I went to do a little investigation and learned that I had missed, this is really important. Nobody ever talks about this. I had missed 2 very tiny payments. They were $60 each.
Oh my God.
$60. And so in the world of the credit reports and the credit scoring, missing a payment, it doesn't matter if it's $60 or $6,000. They see it as a missed payment, and it is huge numbers of points off of the credit report.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I'll tell you why. I didn't make those payments. I didn't have it set up for auto pay. And my mother was in the hospital.
That
and
happens a lot.
Unfortunately passed away. And I did not, I was just like, paying that bill was not top of mind. So I appealed I went to my lender, and I was like, hey, why do you keep reporting this? And we went back and forth. I asked for leniency, just could you file an exception?
Yeah.
They changed it up a little bit, but you can do that. But here's my final, if you can't get the dispute resolved, your next step is to file a complaint at the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They investigate within 30 days. And if that's still not resolving it to your satisfaction, and this, by the way, this takes 30 days at a time, and it's going to take you a couple months. On your credit report at each of the credit bureaus, you can leave a note. You can leave a note and say, explain what's happening. I filed a dispute. I disagree with this Bank of America situation. It's underway. My mom was sick. You can explain in there.
Yeah.
Nobody ever uses the notes, but it's a fantastic way. We know that lenders read them, and they can make a decision in your favor.
And where do you leave that note? On your credit report?
Yeah, it's like a personal note. It's literally at the very bottom of the report. When you go look at your own report, you'll see do you want to leave a message or leave a note? And most people are just for what? But if you're in the middle of a dispute, or you've discovered that you're the victim of identity theft or some other sort of negative action that you're fighting, leave a note on all 3 credit reports to just let people know that you're on it. It's underway, not been decided yet, and don't make a judgment based on what you're looking at.
At least a lot of people are going to need you. You have so much information.
It's a crazy system.
It's needed. Listen, do you have this on your website?
Yes. Go to consumerreports.org. We're a nonprofit located up in Yonkers, New York. We are an almost 90-year-old organization. No, we are non-commercial. We buy everything that we test. I work on investigative stories about this kind of thing, financial stuff.
Yeah.
At consumerreports.org, you can find how to fix your credit, how to improve your credit, how to look up your credit, and what happens if you don't do any of these things and you need more help.
Lisa, thank you so much. You got to come back again.
I love it. Thanks so much for having me on. I love talking about it.
Great. Lisa L. Gill, Investigative Reporter, Consumer Reports. We love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. Oh, no, we got to go. But we'll be back. I want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You keep following us on social media at BronxNet TV. Thank you so much. You can join us for the next episode. We'll just keep giving it to you like we owe you something. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all.